All right, Shalom. This is Shalom from the Great Millstone Atlanta Camp. Before I get started in this lesson, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rakak Dash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace, safety, much love, and blessings to the elect of Israel that consists of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, I want to get into this lesson real quick on CNN. It's basically talking about integration, and they're talking about good white people. How it says how good white people derail racial progress. I'm not going to get into this whole article, but I do want to focus on one part of it. It's basically talking about Esau, Edom. In order for everything to work, they have to give up their power, or a certain amount of their power. But Esau, Edom is not going to do that. As a matter of fact, we were never made to live amongst any other nations. But before I get into that, I'm going to get this precept right here in Deuteronomy chapter 32. In verse 8, it says, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. Verse 9, for the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. So the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, divided the nations. And he basically set parts where he wanted these different nations to live. But what did Esau Edom do? Esau Edom wants to conquer everything and put out everybody up under him. He wants to be like the Most High. Esau, the so-called white man, wants to be God on earth. And he has proven that through his wicked track record. But yeah, just basically looking at this article, I'm going to get into the first part of it. It says, angry white parents gripping picket signs, people making death threats, and a piece of hate mail reading, blacks destroy school systems. Community pandemic about school desegregation orders. And to be honest, the so-called Judites, or the so-called Jews, the black people, or the so-called black people, which are the real Jews. I said that backwards, Salakia. Our people always have to there's a large amount of jealousy, a large amount of hate because we're still under the curses. And you try and, pack a couple of thousands of them into one building, you're going to have problems. That's just how it is. That's how it's always going to be. As long as we here in Babylon. And then the most wicked so-called Judite or black person that you could run into is one that lived among so-called Edomites, so-called white people, which are the Edomites. I mean, just from my personal experiences. Now, you have some Edomites or you have some so-called black folks and Native Americans that went to school with Esau, and they're seated in their class. They graduated. They went to a nice college, and they received a nice job, or either started a good business, and they're living good. It worked out for them. But then on the other hand, you got Jake that went to school with Esau and got mixed up with the most wicked Edomites at the school and got on all type of drugs. Then whenever well, I'm just gonna share a story. I knew a Jake. I used to work with him that grew up with white people. He was like, "Hey man, messing with them white boys, I started doing heroin." That's what he told me. He was like, "Yeah, I did. I tried heroin." He was talking about different drugs that he tried, and he was like, "Yeah, messing with those white boys." So it could Esau is wicked, but when you mix Esau and Jake together, there's no telling how bad it's gonna get. But just going back to this precept, the Lord, he separated the nations for a reason. Esau is the wicked. Esau needs to live amongst Esau, and they're competitive with other nations. So what they'll do, they'll work together to lift themselves up to stay in power. I do want to get another precept in Habakkuk chapter 2. I'm gonna start with verse 4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man." And that wine is that wine is different afflictions, different punishments, different wraths that the Most High describes, throughout the scriptures. It says he is a proud man. Esau is the most proud man you could run into. And neither keeper at home who enlarges his desire is hell. Esau, he don't want to stay at home. He wants to discover the whole earth and basically conquer the whole earth. When it says hell, that word hell is not talking about, what people grew up thinking, that, hell is up underground where the devil has these wicked souls and he's punishing them eternally. And man, if that was the case, hell would be overcrowded. But that's not what hell is talking about. Hell has different definitions in the scriptures, but this particular one is talking about the earth. It says, "Whose enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." And the reason why this the so-called white man does that to oppress other nations, to keep himself on a high. You can't have rich without having poor. You can't have kings without having servants. But Esau don't supposed to be. Esau is actually the servant. He's the slave. But the Lord, talked about in Job, the book of Job, the Lord gave the earth into the hands of the wicked. That's why Esau is running things now. I'm going to get another precept, and I'm going to get back into this article. This is the book of Job, chapter 20, and in verse 10. And this is talking about Esau Edom, the so-called white man, which is the wicked of the earth today. It says, "His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods." Just like this article is talking about, that you got these so-called Edomites saying that they're good white people. They could actually be Israelites, but they're saying that they're good white people. It's actually Edomites that's they actually feel bad about what they did, even though they're proud and they're the wicked, and they're the devil. but you know, you got some Edomites that's actually feeling sorry, especially now that everything is at an end. You know, your world is at an end, and now you want to feel sorry. But our people have been oppressed, enslaved, and murdered, and raped, and robbed for hundreds of years up under the rulership of the so-called white man, and now you want to be sorry, and you want to call yourself good white people, and you want to integrate the schools, and you know. But hey, like I said, all that integration is making it. It actually makes so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans more wicked in some cases. And Salakia for not being on point with this particular section I was looking for. I was actually looking at it on a different device, and I lost where it was, but it was talking about how Esau Edom, in order for him to for this segregation to work, he have to give up a certain amount of power. You know, you got to have Jake running certain things. You got to have Jake in power of certain, you know, in certain situations, because that's where the oppression come in. You're gonna always look out for your own people. Okay, here it is right here. Okay, yeah, this is what I wanted to get. It says, there can't be real change until white people are willing to give up some power and resources where they live, said Matthew Delmont, author of Why Busing Failed, Race Media, and the National Resistance to School Desegregation. Hey, white people, the so-called white man, he's not going to give up a bit of his power. You know, the so-called white man think that because Obama was elected, you know, for a couple of terms to be president of the United States, you know, Babylon, you know, they think that they lost their power. They lost their country. They think that America was taken away from them. And then they want to make America white again, or America great again. So what they do, they elected Trump, and all that did, because these presidents don't control anything. You know, when Obama was elected, he was a puppet. He had to do what the elect said, or the elite said. Same thing with Trump. He has to do what the elite say. And the elites are wicked as hell. The ones that's running the whole earth. You know, they the ones that call the wars. They the ones that, you know, that own the banks. You know, that the earth was given into the wicked. So, you know, you got the wicked running the earth right now. And they tell these countries how to run. They tell these presidents and these kings and whatever how to run their countries, how to treat their people. And the main focus is Israel. You know, we have to be oppressed, because as soon as we rise, we will control the whole earth. And Esau don't want to lose his power. Esau is not going down without a fight. Esau is going to fight until the end. He's going to keep that power seat until there's nothing left that he can do to as far as him having power. Now, once everything's destroyed, then he's gonna be forced to step down. He's gonna go into captivity. He's gonna go into slavery. But hey, that what I have highlighted right there, that's actually spiritual too. It says there can't be real change until white people are willing to give up some power and resources where they live. You know, they're not going to give up anything. So there's never going to be change. There's never going to be change. The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 1 says, there's no new thing under the sun. You know, the wicked has always been the wicked. Nothing's going to change. You know, if the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, allow another 100 years on this place, Esau would still be Esau. He'll still be the wicked. As a matter of fact, another 100 years, you Israelites might be extinct if it was left up to Esau, Edom. He's working on it now. He wants to remain in power. He wants his people to forever rule the earth. There's no integration. There's no anti-segregation. This devil is he's gonna rule forever in his mind. But yeah, you got these you got Edomites that's playing basically trying to side with Jake on Black Lives Matter and trying to combine the school system, but Esau is getting something out of it. All they're gonna do is take those Israelite children and make an outstanding baseball team, basketball team, football team, and they're gonna use you. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right there. It's so much more I want to talk about, but I don't want to make it too long and ongoing. This is a pretty broad topic. You know, this is from CNN News talking about segregation. And hey, the Lord made us to be segregated. Even in the kingdom, you know, the kingdom is divided amongst the 12 tribes. There's 12 gates for the 12 tribes of Israel. Not only that, you're going to have Israel together, you know, ruling the earth. And you're going to have these other nations still divided, and they're going to be up under the Israelites. We're going to rule over all nations. So there's always going to be segregation. The Lord set it up like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off right there. Once again, call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah Bashim Rakak with Dash. Double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone that taught us this truth. Peace, safety, much love, and blessings to the elect of Israel. Shalom.